What's going on, YouTube? Claykeysult back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner review, and this time we got a weird banner. It's not one you're going to be spending Lapis on, it's one you're going to be spending raid tokens on. So get your little Final Fantasy, you know, authenticator ready, because we got to get in there and learn about these characters, so let's do this. First unit on the banner is going to be Thancred, my boy Thancred. 3-star base going up to 5-star. Not the best, you know that's a death sentence when you can only go up to 5-star, but we're going to still discuss him a little bit. A physical damage dealer with a little bit of tanking aspects to him. TM's going to be Follower's Oath, and I'm going to give that low tier. It's only going to boost up your HP and attack by 10%. Although in this raid, you're going to be able to probably farm that TM out by getting multiples of Thancred and actually fusing them together from what I've heard if you actually farm pretty hard. Still low tier. You get better out of that from like King Mog, so we're gonna put that down to the low tier. We're gonna talk about the pros of Thancred. Is a badass, deserved better. You guys know what I'm talking about if you like Thancred. He deserved more. He does have an AoE poison ability, which may come in handy for bosses that maybe have like, you know, millions and millions of HP. You know, taking that poison down and hitting that might be, you know, relevant for you. And then he has the ability Flash, and the only reason I put that on here, Flash is going to pull the, I think it's about 70%, pull like Provoke to Thancred by 70%, but I just used Flash so much in FF14, I had to put it here. Looking at the cons, 5-star restrictions like we've already talked about, and he's kind of a wannabe tank. He doesn't have the stats to back it up. He can't equip the things he needs to back it up either, and overall, you know, just a wannabe tank in a way. I mean, he's just not doing his job the way he wants to be doing it. And the rankings, we're gonna do this a little bit different. Before I'd make like a pun, a joke, but I think people actually wanted me to go a little bit more serious with it, and I thought maybe I should go that way too. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give my global, you know, 1 through 10, I'm gonna rate them on my own, 1 through 10 what I think they are, and then we're gonna give the Japanese Ultima ranking next to them to give you kind of a reference of how it scales in JP, okay? So for my ranking for Thancred, we're giving him a 4 out of 10, and that's sad for me, but that's what I'm gonna have to do. And then the JP rankings have him a 75 out of 100, and that's pretty low too. But yeah, so that's Thancred in a box. Minfilia is our next unit we're going to discuss. 4-star base going up to 6-star, meaning she has a chance, boys. She has a chance. Minfilia, ultimate waifu. Very, very cool looking sprite. Job is going to be Green Mage. TM is Heidelin Grand. It's going to be a low tier TM again. Just not that great to be farming out on a TM base. But again, if you get multiples of these and fuse them together, it could help you out a lot. What it does is it buffs all elemental resist by 10%. Like you put it on, all elemental resist go up by 10%. It's just too low to be worrying about too much. There are other TMs and materia slots, or just overall just the materials you can get from the game that you probably want to slot in there instead of that one. So let's look at the pros of Minfilia and tell you really what she does. Minfilia is going to be your green mage. So we have pretty much 3 green mages in global now. We have Marie, which is I think the top dog. Then we have Minfilia, which is coming down a little bit lower. You know, not too much lower, but a little bit lower. And then we have Sirius, which I think is a step down from Minfilia, and I'm going to tell you why. Minfilia can buff all elemental resist by 70% individually. So that's all of them. That's every resist. She has light and dark buffing, which other people are lacking on. And then she has, you know, water, wind, earth, all of them. Okay, so that's something she can do. Another great thing she can do is she can single target buff any stat to one ally, obviously singles target, by 100%. So that's anything you need to do. So if you need your Noctis or your Olive to do way more damage, you want to buff them up by 100%, she can single target, just boom, put that stat up there. You need to be a little bit more magic resist on a tank who's about to take a big magic hit, put your spirit up there by 100%. So that's pretty cool. I think it's going to be very useful and very niche, but it's going to be very nice. She also just has the 40% attack magic buff and then the defense and spirit buff. So she has an offensive 40% buff, and then she can also cast a defensive 40% buff, which is just awesome. These are all things we want our supports to do, right? And then she has a limit burst that really took me by surprise, guys. This character is actually pretty damn good. Limit burst, she's going to do single target physical damage to someone, and then she's going to buff all of your stats. So it's somewhat similar to a Noctis limit burst in a way, but like that is insane on a green mage, right? Like I mean, I guess it's pretty good on a green mage, especially one that we're giving for free. So as you can see, lots of great things going for Minfilia here. And we have the cons: no dual cast sadly in the kit. We could slap dual cast on Minfilia and make her really strong. And then also I was doing some research into her stats. It looks like she has some lower base stats, some HP problems. So we might have to slap some HP on her, maybe a couple muscle belts or something to make sure she has the HP she needs. Although possibly through you know, through her innate buffs, you know, those, you know, HP plus 10%, things like that in her kit. Possibly can get her HP up, but it does look really low as compared to Marie and Sirius, which is who we're comparing them to. So we'll go to the rankings here. I'm going to give Minfilia, this is why it's so exciting, a 7 out of 10 on global, and that's pretty damn high. I think she's going to be very great in upcoming, you know, trials. Anything you're going to need elemental resist on, she's going to take the place. I didn't get Marie. I know a lot of you guys out there didn't get Marie, so she's going to be your green mage, and you get her for free, guys. So that's going to be awesome. The ranking in JP is 90 out of 100, and that's pretty damn good for a free player, free character too. Again, what our rank is, I think Marie is the best green mage still because of dual cast, and then like Sirius does have dual cast, but the coverage and the things that Minfilia can do. Oh, we didn't even talk about a couple of other things before we continue. Minfilia has a exclusive materia you can put on her, 20% chance to counter with Kuraja. So that's pretty sick. I didn't talk about that, so I really like that. And then she can't be hit by any status elements, which is awesome. I didn't mention that either. So that's why she gets this ranking and she's up so high. Very, very nice person to have in your box, and everybody's gonna have her because she's super free to play friendly. Y'shtola is our big 5-star base going to 6-star unit healer job. So we have another healer now hitting global, and it's gonna, you know, it's gonna fight for that top tier spot as a free-to-play healer that you can obtain, so it's pretty awesome. TM is Shards of Genius. You get 20% spirit when you're equipped with a rod, and then 20% when you're equipped with a robe defense, 20% defense, excuse me. I'm gonna give that medium tier. Although I think there are other teams you may want to slap on your healer better ones, this one's actually pretty good, and I think it's one that you can get so many Y'shtola, I think, from the event if you grind it hard enough. You'll be able to get this TM somewhat easily, right? It's going to cut the farm time down at least. So that's going to be really nice for you guys. And a lot of your healers who you want the spirit and defense on are going to be able to be equipping a rod and then a robe. So that's going to be great for you guys. Let's look at the pros of Y'shtola. Has dual cast. That's right. Free to play, free unit that has dual cast and is a healer. Yay! Also has Kuraja, just to let you guys know. So can dual cast Kuraja for days. Single target, 100% heal. It's called Benediction. So again, I think I'll talk about this in my banner review. If you need to heal somebody all the way up to 100%, like somebody that Kuraja is just not going to cut it on a tank or something like that, boom, Benediction, then back to 100%. And we're kind of hitting that point where healers are going to start ignoring, like, you're not going to have to worry too much about spirit. Like when Tillith 6-star comes out, and it's going to be more, they're just going to 100% heal people up, so that's awesome. She also has MP recovery, 5% per turn, like a lot of 6-star units have, 5-star base 6-star units. And she also has this ability where she has 50% less likely shroud, 50% less likely to be targeted. So that's awesome on a healer, guys. Like, so that way she just like I'm in the shadows. Y'shtola hides in the shadows and heals people. So she like it's 50% less time chance to be targeted. It's pretty damn strong, guys. And the limit burst that she has decreases damage taken overall by a percentage, which is awesome. I do think she has that over Refia. We'll talk about comparing her to Refia in a minute. Cons, she only has a raise, which I was wrong about. I think I had heard wrong. She does have a raise, guys, which is pretty sweet. She still has a raise. She can dual cast that bad boy, but it's only a 30% raise. It's not a full life raise, so you're only bringing up that person that died back up to 30%, and they're going to have to heal them up too. What you can do is hit the raise and hit Kuraja, and that's going to be able to, you know, get them up, and then Kuraja are going to heal them up a little bit. You cannot, however, dual cast your raise and then Benediction due to the fact that you can't target a dead unit with Benediction, and they don't actually come to life until you cast the raise, so not possible. On top of that, no top tier buffs. That's the one thing that Y'shtola is missing, is she can't really buff up your team effectively and meta-like, right? Whereas Refia would have Embolden and things like that. So, we're going to go ahead and go to our rankings here. I'm giving Y'shtola an 8 out of 10 on global. And then the ultimate ranking in JP is a 93 out of 100. Is pretty damn high, super high for, you know, free to get units, which I think is amazing. Gumi didn't really have a hand in this. These characters were already out. Alim and Square Enix made these, and they did amazing. Let's talk about Y'shtola versus Refia for a moment. If you have Refia and you don't have dual cast, Y'shtola's better, hands down. You can't, like, I can't even argue the fact that Refia would be better. Yes, she has full life or full heal or whatever, the full raise. But having dual cast is just that much more important, and Benediction actually holds a lot. And I like the Shroud too. I think that Y'shtola has a better limit burst. I think that Y'shtola, she has a lot of good things going for her, but when Refia gets dual cast, it's hard to argue with being able to full life someone, Kuraja, being able to embolden when you need to if you don't have another buffer on the team. Being able to dispel because Y'shtola doesn't have a dispel, being able to double full life if 2 people would go down. So I think I would put Refia a little bit higher than Y'shtola if she does have dual cast, but if not, Y'shtola knocks that bitch out the park. So guys, this is the part of the video where I'd normally tell you, should you pull on this banner? The answer is obviously yes, because you don't have to spend any money on pulling on it. You will be able to obtain these units by the raid coins you can do in the gacha machine. It'd be kind of like an arena ticket you'd be going into. I think you can get items, and then you can also get the characters too by happenstance, things like that. But you also get them by the personal points you obtain. So if you do enough damage, you build enough personal points, you get one of each of the characters by hitting personal point goals. So I think everybody's going to be able to get at least one of these guys. I will say that I am so happy that they did justice to Final Fantasy XIV. We did, and the fact that it's free, like, we didn't have to spend money to get these units, and they gave us really great supportive units. And I think that a person like me, I'm very glass cannon, love DPS, love damage dealing units. But I think that we sometimes forget about our supports and our tanks, and this gave us one green mage, which can rival, it's not really rival Marie, but can take the place of her, and will be very useful in the Dark Ifrit and Dark Shiva, the Dark Espers, excuse me, Dark Espers trial coming out, because you can buff that Dark Resist. And then on top of that, we get a really great healer for you guys out there that don't have Refia, who don't have dual cast, because remember, she's better than Refia without dual cast. So there you go, guys. Free TM, free to play players. Rejoice, you got your healer. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you feel about the Final Fantasy XIV characters. And, you know, if your struggle's going on your team or not, 'cause she's bae. And then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys next time.